Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum. I'm Dr. Faiza Shaheen here with your lecture number 13 of the course of Educational Psychology EDUC 3112. In the previous 12 lectures, we have gone through all the outline of your course of Educational Psychology. So, from this lecture to onward, we are going to have a recap, or you can say a revision lectures of the outline topics, and we will try to teach and read these lectures by having a revision of these. Starting from the unit 1 again, which was about introduction to psychology, we will see that what is meant by educational psychology and what this discipline is helpful for us in teaching and learning process. Today's agenda is about introduction to psychology and nature and function of educational psychology. So we will start we will see the definition of psychology and see that what does it mean, how psychology is associated with education, and we call it educational psychology because the simple psychology is about the study of human mind and is his behavior. But when we apply this concept in the context of education and we try to solve the problems faced by the education system with the help of psychology, we say it educational psychology. A layman can explain the concept of psychology, educational psychology, as that the application of rules, principles, tenets and techniques whenever applied in the context of education, that is called educational psychology. Then we will see the nature and functions of this discipline, starting from the introduction to psychology. It is the contribution of two Greek words, letters यहाँ पे लिखा हुआ ये गलत है, two Greek words which is psyche and logos. Psyche means self, soul or mind, whereas logos stands for study or knowledge. So if we make a worldly meaning of psychology, it means the psychology is the science of soul, mind and behavior of individual. There are so many definitions of psychology, but we need to know that what is meant by psychology, what is meant by behavior, and what is the meaning of mental process. Starting from psychology. Psychology is the scientific study of behavior and mental process. And now we want to know that what is behavior. Behavior is everything we do that can be directly observed, such as we laugh, we cry, we run, we write or drink. All the behaviors which are observed directly, that is behavior. And what is meant by mental process? This is although not evident and seen, but these are observable. Mental processes include the thoughts, feelings and motives that each of us experience but cannot be observed directly, such as logical thinking, love, hatred, anger, etc. So these goes on and on in your mind but are not expressed, not observed directly, but expressed in the feeling, in the form of your thinking, hatred, anger, etc. Now we will see that what is the nature of and function of educational psychology. Here we need to have a clarity that when psychology is attached with education, it is educational psychology, and when we apply the principles of psychology in the field of education and we try to solve different problems faced by the educational system, that is educational psychology. So educational psychology is an offshoot, or can be said a stem of psychology. Its nature cannot be changed from psychology. So if we attach this discipline psychology with education, we cannot say that it is totally changed with its essence and true nature of the discipline, which is psychology. We will see these one by one. Number one is applied branch. It is an applied branch of fundamental psychology. Educational psychology employs scientific method and adopts scientific approach to study the learner behavior. So it is applied branch. We try to solve the problem faced in the context of education with the help of psychology. Whatever the problems faced by the learners, faced by the teachers, and if those problems are relevant to the material as well as with the content and learning situation. Number second is specific sign. We can say that educational psychology is limited in dealing with the behavior of people in relation to educational environment. It is a specific science. Next is natural science. An educational psychologist conducts his investigation, gathers his data, and reaches his conclusion in exactly the same ways as a physicist or biologist. So whenever we diagnose some problem with the help of biologists or physicians, we come up with the solution of the problem. So just as like those people in the natural settings, whenever educational psychologists try to investigate some problem and reaches to a conclusion, that is why we call it a natural science. Next is body and facts. Like any empirical knowledge or like any systematic knowledge, educational psychology has its own body and facts. It is not a borrowed discipline. We can say that it is an applied discipline of psychology. So it possesses systematic, well organized and internationally accepted body and facts supported by psychological laws, principles and theories. So we can say that whenever we encounter with some problems in the context of education, we try to take help from psychological laws, principles and theories. Next is growing and developing science. So it means that educational psychology is not a stop at any point of time. It is keep on developing day by day. As we know that educational context is very dynamic and we face different problems day by day, and every context to the other context problem is different, situations are different and individuals are different. So we can say that this discipline is a growing and developing science. Educational psychology is concerned with new researches and developing changes each day. Thus the educational psychology is ever growing. It is not stopped at any point. Next is practical science. So the characteristic and function of psychology, educational psychology, is that it is a practical science. Some of the scientific subjects are based on theory and totally theoretical functions are there, but educational psychology is practical science because we apply the principles of psychology in the context of education in order to solve the problems faced by the education. So it is said that it is practical in nature. Effective teaching is impossible without the knowledge of educational psychology. Next it says it is a positive science. So it means that educational psychology is a positive science, not a normative science, as it is not concerned with the values. So it tries to provide solution of the problems and issues faced in the context of education rather to determine some values. Next is educational psychology itself. What it means, that it primarily deals with how, when and what of education. So it is educational psychology. So these three big questions are very important to deal in the context of education. How to deliver, when to deliver and what to deliver. In the context of education we need to understand it, that what teaching techniques and how we are going to teach to our students, and when means that what is the appropriate time of teaching, what means what are the content and subject matter to be taught to the students. So these all questions are dealt and answered with the field of educational psychology. That is why we call it a practical branch of psychology. So this was about your overview of the chapter number 1 starting points, which is about concept and definition of educational psychology, and later on you have gone through the nature and function of its discipline. So I hope that after listening to this lecture you will be having a clarity that what is the educational psychology, what is its meaning and concept, as well as you can tell that the nature of educational psychology is practical, it is a positive science, and The functions of educational psychology is basically to solve the problems faced in the context of education, and solutions are given with the theory of and theory, laws and principles of psychology. Thank you.